Hi everyone, my name is Caroline. I am a communication major and an English minor at Santa Clara University. I'm a rising junior, and my favorite part about communication is how it applies to my real life. I took a really interesting class about interpersonal conversations, and I found that concepts that we were learning in class actually applied to my real life, and I noticed them like in the conversations I was having with my friends and my teachers and my parents, and it allowed me to better understand the conversations I was having and like what I was doing to make these conversations better or worse in terms of my communicative skills.
Hi everyone, my name is Caroline Chen. I'm a rising junior this year. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I'm currently located at my home, Changzhou, Jiangsu, China. Yes, I'm an international student and we are gonna hold some events for international students. Feel free to join us in the future. My majors are marketing and communication. Yes, I double my major. So if you have any question about double majoring, also ask me. So my favorite part about com is that I really like filming and writing. I feel like I'm more like in the artsy part, so I double my major. Yes.
Just wanted to quickly introduce myself since I didn't do that in the beginning. But I'm Olivia. I'm part of the leadership staff, which basically means this is like my second year being an orientation leader. My pronouns are she, her. I'm from Dallas, Texas, and I'm actually double majoring in accounting and information systems as well as comm. And my primary interest is like film. That's what I'm like very interested in. But I just also wanted to like let y'all know if any of y'all are interested like in journalism. I'm an editor for the Santa Clara, which is like the newspaper on campus. So if any of you have interest in like journalism or even film, I'm also a resource. But I just wanted to quickly add that before y'all get into your questions. So I'll give it back to the Carolines.
At our Calling All Communication Majors event, we had the comm department head, Michael Whalen, come and speak to us. He talked a bit at the beginning, just giving an introduction to himself and the communication department as a whole. I thought what he talked about was really insightful. Unfortunately, the recording started about 30 seconds into when he was talking, so that is why it sort of cuts in.
And an interesting diversity of what you can study in comm. Caroline Chen is talking about the art side of things and more the filmmaking, or maybe those of you that would be into journalism or VR and AR type of work. And Carolyn Seaman is talking more about the interpersonal side of things. And those are just really two parts of comm. We're also really, really strong in teaching you a business-oriented skills. We have classes in group and organizational communication, classes in communication development and training. If you're interested in going into corporate communication or HR or PR, comm can be something for you to study. If you're interested in going into the film industry, we have a robust film program and a alumni group that takes students over spring break to LA and into Hollywood, and you get to go on the tours of the studios and meet with alumni working in the industries and learn kind of how to get started there. We have a number of journalists recently that have won Pulitzers and programs like that, and are working at, believe it or not, newspapers still all across the country. And I see Olivia chimed in. Olivia was there last year, and then there's in that spring break party too. At the end, we have a great mixer where you really get a chance to meet and network one-on-one with people, and we do that here in the Bay Area as well through our internship program. Professor Amy Erickson offers an amazing internship program that you can take as a class, and it gets you a chance to meet as a class with, probably 4 or 5 alumni each quarter. And we also offer internship help in terms of funding internships, and then also money to help pay for internships. So that's general of the department. The only advice I can give you is dabble in everything. All the professors are open to talk to you about what they do. We are everything you can imagine under the sun in comm. And you'll get the most out of it if you're willing to just explore and try new things. And I think you'll find that you really enjoy our program.
Thank you. And then we're just going to get into our slides. And just so everyone knows, at the end, we will have a little bit of time for a Q&A session because we would love to hear and answer any questions you're having. So just to start off, what is communication at Santa Clara University? In broad terms, communication is the study of what shapes communication, how communication shapes us, and how we can use communication to create change. And I feel like what I've learned is that communication is quite literally everything. Like, I think everything that we do could be kind of used and studied in a communication lens and see like how it does or what it does and how it's affecting people. And then with the communication major, students learn and study in many areas. We take all kinds of classes where you can learn how to report news stories, make good presentations, record and produce films, create campaigns, design digital content, and do research. And there's also so many more opportunities. And because of communications, diverse study areas, it pairs well with many other majors and minors, which is nice if you don't want to just commit to communication.
Yeah, so I will talking about what classes do comm majors take. So basically every single first year students, they need to do comm classes, core classes, sorry. So we need to fulfill the core requirements for our graduation. So generally we need to take CTW 1 and 2 is critical thinking and writing 1 and 2. And also CNI is culture and ideas 1, 2, 3, and also second language. But if you are an international student like me, like if English is not your primary language and you do have some certificate to show like you are not like a native speaker, you do have the test result you can show to our school by email and show them you don't need to take a second language. So I have the TOEFL exam, so I don't need to take the second language. And you need to take math and also religion class 1, 2, 3, and ethics, civic engagement, and diversity. And also for our comm department, we do need arts for comm 30, that class. So you don't need to choose other arts classes because you need comm 30 as a mandatory class. And also we need social science and natural science and lab. And for the science, tech, and the society, we do need comm 12. And also we need advanced writing and experiential learning, but we have so many comm classes related to this core requirements, so you don't need to worry about that.
Awesome. Yeah. And then I know that sounds like a lot of classes, but you will take those throughout your 4 years. So it's really not too much and not too overwhelming. And then getting into the communication specific requirements, there are 4 foundational courses, which are comm 1, 2, 3, and 4. And they are just kind of give you a feel for what communication is and the different areas, and also get you just ready to go on to the like more upper division higher classes. And then next you have the intermediate courses, and you get to select 3 of those. You can take comm 10, 30, 50, 60, or 80. And I think it just really depends on what you're interested in. If there's a specific, like, say you are really into, like filming and making movies, you could take comm 30 and not take, the social interaction one, or you kind of get to pick and choose what you'd like to do and what you are interested in. And then lastly, you will take 9 upper division courses. And there's this list. All of these classes are not offered every single quarter because it's a bunch of classes there, but there's so many different interesting ones. I've taken a couple, but I haven't taken most of my upper division courses yet, just because I took most of my like foundational ones sophomore year because I just declared my comm major. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of different ones. Caroline, have you taken any good ones of these?
Yes, I did take 2 of this. I took friendship and romances, and also I took special topics in movies. It's called it's called global. It's like global cinema, something like that. Globalization in cinemas. Yeah, and one is like more into the movie part, more like filming part, and another one is more like interpersonal communications, and both are super interesting to take, I would say. Yes, because I feel like more I like upper classes more than the like intermediate one or the lower classes, because I feel like upper classes give us more like autonomy to choose our topics and our interest. So I'm more like into these two parts, filming and interpersonal communications. And I feel like that is so funny to read all of the class materials, and you do really enjoy every single thing, even the writing. Because so yeah, for example, for my friendship and romance one, I wrote about like how to be in a good relationship with either your best friend or close relationship, and yes, and also close friendship. And I mean, there's so many interesting things, and you will enjoy a lot for the upper classes because you have so many opportunities like to choose any of the classes you want to do, and any of the pathway you need to focus on. So yeah, don't worry about the upper class one. I think you will enjoy most in your sophomore and junior year. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So I will introduce where are those com classes. So basically, I will introduce the places where you need to take class. So it's all over the campus. It's primarily in Berry Hall, Dot Hall, Cannon Hall, O'Connor, and Skiddy. Here is a map of on our school. I don't know if you can see my mouse or not, but so here is Skiddy, the new building of our school. And here's Canna, and I guess Benson's here. So Canna is the nearest hall to Benson. Benson is now our dining hall. So Skiddy is here, and the Berry's here. Berry is the main building. I think comm class is taken, and O'Connor is also a really beautiful hall, and Dot is kind of like the most far away one, but it's also very new. And Caroline said it's a good place to study. Yeah. So basically classes will be taken like in this 5 spot. So this is our beautiful photo of Berry Hall. So this is place where we can see the most beautiful sunset. Yeah, whenever I finish my comm classes and I go out, I can see all of the beautiful scenes on our campus. And we also have like the Mission Garden right in front of the Berry Hall. So it is so nice. And this is our filming studios. I took my Com 30 class in it, and this is so amazing. When I first entered this studio, I thought, oh my God, this is so professional. You can see all of the equipments upstairs, up your head. And also, I mean, it's super modern, and you will be so impressed when you enter this studio. And this is the editing rooms we have. We do have like a general one, and we do have like individually the editing rooms. I went to both of them. So when I had my lab of my Com 30 introduction to filmmaking, I do have the general one, and and students need to make a schedule of the editing rooms if you want to take the room individually. And I think your professor will tell you how to do that in the future. So here's the hall and O'Connor Hall. Is these two are a little bit far away from our main, Benson, but it's so nice. Make sure if you're gonna take course in these two buildings, make sure you have like at least 10 and 15 minutes to get there in case you won't get late. And here's our Canna and Skiddy Hall. These two halls are near Benson. So you basically need 3 hours from Benson to Canna, and maybe also 3 hours from Benson to Skiddy. Yes. Let's move to Caroline.
Okay, and then looking at what kind of jobs do comm majors get, I know this is very far in the future because I haven't really even started thinking about what kind of job I'm going to get But just in case you all are wondering, because there's a lot of potential, you could work in marketing and advertising, or doing things with managing and curating social media, whether that be for like big brands or companies or individual people. And then writing and publishing, like books, screenplays, and things like that. Or working in human resources. And then also media production is a big one, I think, with writing, filming, editing, and producing, and especially looking at the cool studios that we have at school. If you're interested in that, we're definitely a great place to get started on media production. And then there are also so many other possibilities for jobs that communication majors could potentially have going forward. And then lastly, this slide is just some important links that I thought you all might appreciate. If we want to send these slides to you all, so if you private message me or email, we can share them with you. But these are just links to the main website, the bulletin that has like class requirements, the faculty and staff website that just has like their contact information, and for some of them where their offices are. And then the contact sheet is similar to that. And then the classes checklist, so you can kind of keep track of what courses you've taken so far and what requirements you still need to fulfill. And then also for internship resources, we have that linked as well. And so now it's everyone's time here. If you have questions, we would love to answer them. Otherwise, we could all just talk about ourselves, talk about COM, talk about what we're looking forward to, things like that. So if you have questions, feel free to unmute, or you can put them in the chat or message them to Caroline or I. As I said in the video, it was now time for questions to begin. It might be a little bit hard to follow the question and answer portion of this presentation because most of the questions were in the chat and we don't have access to the chat anymore, but there are still some really great insightful answers. And also feel free to comment any questions that you have below because we would love to answer them. That was a good question from Michael Whalen. If anyone has declared their comm major yet. I know Caroline, you were business, so you came in undeclared business, right?
Yeah, so I decided to declare my second major when I think it's last year, November. It's the first quarter I took at school. So my first year was totally online and I had no experience at all, I think. Yeah, but I did take Com 1 when I was only one major. So I feel like Com 1 is interesting. It's not about business at all. It's not about mathematics. It's about writing my own stuff. So I feel like I'm so interested in communication. And actually, to be honest, I thought if I should like switch like move to art and science school, but my advisor told me not to do that, so I double majored. Yeah, I submit the form when it's like end of November and finally got into communication department.
If there are some of you that are maybe not declared COM, but you're interested in COM, the new COM 1, which is going to be brand new for all of you because it's the first, we've completely redesigned our curriculum, and the new curriculum starts in September when you guys start taking classes. And the new COM 1 is going to be kind of an overview of all of communication. So it would be a really good class to take, and you'll get an idea of all of the different areas that you can study and how meaningful it is to your everyday life, and also to choosing a profession and a career later on in your life. So that would be a really good class to start with, to just get your feet wet. And the only way and if you already know you want to do COM, as a Darian, you asked, literally, you just go online on the registrar's page, and under forms, you fill out the major. It's a petition form, and that declares the major. You'll get paperwork will be sent to us. We'll send paperwork back to you asking you to fill out your general information, who you are, contact information, whatnot, and then you're a comm major. So nobody will be turned away. Everybody's accepted, and you can graduate in 4 years, even when you're double majoring like Carolyn is. It's all doable. You don't have to double major if you don't want to. That's totally up to you. But it's also really, really common when you hear Carolyn and Olivia talk about kind of a business comm blend. That's a really common double blend, whether it's major, minor, or double major. For Marjorie as a transfer, are you coming in, Marjorie, are you coming in as a junior? Yes. Marjorie, as a junior transfer, you will have an individual meeting with Helen Otero, who's our department manager. And we will meet with you specifically to look at what you've already taken and what you still need to take, because you're different, because you're coming in with a bunch of coursework. So if you're a junior, it means you have 75 to 85 units already accepted. And we will meet with you individually and come up with an individual plan for you for your final 2 years. Freya, I was told during my academic advisation that I can't declare comm as major. You probably can't declare comm right now in the summertime, but the minute classes start in September, you will be able to. So you do not have to wait later in the year. The minute you're on campus, you can declare common as a major.
And then I got a question about the math requirements for comm. I know that I took math 8.
Did you take stats?
Yeah, I took stats because I hadn't decided between psych and comm.
Oh, okay.
It was not a bad choice, but I'm not a math person, so I think I would have preferred to take one of the more like social sciences math class. Like I had friends in math 4 and math 6, but I'm not totally sure about the math requirements. Do you know?
Caroline, it's what you said is right. It's you can take math 4 or 6. I think one of them is called The Nature of Math, and one of them is called Math for Social Science, if I'm not mistaken. You can take those. Obviously, you can take stats like you did, or you can take calculus if you're a math person and you have no problem doing that. And I will say that what you should all get very used to is when you get into your advising orientation sessions, they're going to teach you how to use course availability. Really, really pay attention to that, because it's a filtering system to where you can say, hey, I need to take math. Show me all the classes being offered next quarter that satisfy the math requirement, and it will just filter it for you. And really use that. And also, please meet with your academic advisors. Once you declare comm, you will have a faculty advisor who will sit down with you and talk with you at as many times as you need to come up with a plan, to talk about research, to talk about internships, to talk about professional development. Olivia sent me an email last quarter after going on the shadowing program, and we had never met until the shadowing program, and said, now can we meet? And Olivia's not even my advisee, but we're going to meet and talk about film and careers and things like that. That's what we do. So at Santa Clara, you're paying to have my attention, right? You're not going to a UC where there's 300 people in a class. We're here for you.
Freya, I believe that you're correct that I think because some majors in arts and sciences have different math requirements. I know like for psych, I'm not sure about the other ones, but they have like higher up math requirements. But for comm, yeah, I think that like credit would apply, but it might not apply if you were majoring in something else that has like higher up math course requirements.
And I believe Carolyn's right. I will check you right now, Freya, see if you're in my system.
And have just for 1 second, have all of you like begin to like know what course avail is, because I could share my screen and like show you all if that's something that would be helpful just when you're searching for courses. Okay. should I go ahead and share my screen now just to show you
Yes.
all? Okay. Oh, Caroline, would you be able to make me a host? I accidentally unhosted myself.
Yeah, let me see. Okay.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. All right. So I just look up SCU Course Avail, and that's how I access it. But here's the link. I can put it in the chat. It might be weird because I had just typed math into it, because that was what we were all talking about. But you can look up, here's the here's the time that it's happening in. So they don't have for like the spring or the winter and spring quarters of 2023 yet, just because we're not registering for those courses quite yet, but you can look up like any class you want. So let's say I wanted to take Math 8. I can see the time where it's going to be, who the professor is, and all of that information. And then I really like this tool because you can put in more specific like filters, I guess, for the kind of class you're looking for. So, you know, sometimes when I like type in one kind of class, it will show things in the business school and the engineering school, and that's not the course listings that I'm looking for. So you can just make it specific by putting like the school, or if you want it at a specific time or in person or on Zoom, all those things like that. And during your academic advising session, they might show you this tool, but you register for courses on eCampus, which is a different website. But this one's helpful for getting down like the course number because you will type that in.
Caroline, can you show them how to use, like if you wanted to look for like a double dipper using the undergraduate core
Yeah.
and the second undergrad core?
Yeah.
We
So-
have, you could do advanced writing and because we have a, I'm trying to think. Oh, actually, no, if you do, you know, show a comm class, do experiential learning for social justice, and then also do I'm thinking comm 116. It's ELJ. Oh, and
Class. Yeah.
diversity. Try diversity.
Diversity. Okay.
Yeah. There it is.
Yeah. So you can find classes that satisfy like numerous requirements. So then when you put in both of those cores, you'll find the ones that are options, which is nice because, you know, if you want to just cut down the number of classes or not like overlap the materials you're learning. Do you all have any other questions about Course Avail? Otherwise, I might just stop sharing my screen, but if you want to see anything else. Okay. I can always reshare if we need that.
The other thing to know, folks, is that Helen Otero in our main office is really good at helping for advising if you need some quick answers. We also have peer advisors. And set up an appointment, and peer advisors will go over everything with you. So, and then you have your faculty advisors on top of that, let alone just friends who have been through the program. There's lots of help for you. So don't ever think you're lost, and don't ever think that you can't come to somebody to ask for a question. We're all here ready to help.
Yeah. Has anyone had their academic or their first advising session yet? I think they just started a couple of days ago. Yes, that's awesome. That's so exciting.
Did you get comm classes, Darian?
Yeah, I signed up for communication 1.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All of you that are first years coming in, you can sign up for comm 1, 2, or 3 in any order. You don't have to take, and all 3 of those are requirements, and they'll all be great for you. And yeah, because Freya, I saw your schedule, so you already Frey, you got 2 comm classes, right?
Ooh.
Yeah. So we have left spots. So all of you should know, we have left spots in 1, 2, and 3 for all of you. So you should be able to get a comm class in the fall. And then as the Carolines explained, you have so much core to do that don't worry about taking like 1 comm class a quarter for your first year. That's not a big deal. That you're on time, you're not getting behind. Don't worry. Freya, no, you do not have to take 1 through 4 in numerical order. Nope.
Yeah, are the comm classes, or at least the like order, the numbering of the classes that Caroline and I followed are a little bit different because there's the new program, but I took like, I think it was comm 110 before I took like the comm 30 and comm 40. So sometimes the order can be a little bit different. It's not like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just like that.
So my answer to your question is that if you want, yes, because I do my comm 1 class in my first year when I was a business major. So you can have your comm 1 class and as a introduction to communication major. So if you're interested, you can take it.
Yeah, I also think my first year, I was in kind of a similar position to you. I was deciding between poli-sci, psych, and comm. And so I took a politics class. I forget the number, but it satisfied one of my requirements. And then I took a psych class that satisfied another requirement, and then a comm class like in fall, winter, and spring. And then that way I was able to be working through my core while also kind of like testing the waters on my potential majors. So you have like room, if you're worried about room in your schedule, then you'll have room to take a comm class at some point.
And that comm class, Francis, would be good to explore would be like comm 1, which would give you a nice overview of the department. If you're really worried about, you want to make sure that you're taking something that satisfies a requirement, you could take comm 12 because comm 12 is STS. And that's a requirement that you have to take no matter what. And so take it within comm.
Do you all have any other questions? Or I'm curious. So I have a question. Just wondering, like, what aspect of communication seems most interesting to you all? Or is there one part that kind of like pulled you in, or are you just looking at it as a whole and you think it sounds interesting? If that makes sense. Maybe Caroline, we could share what aspect, or writing or social media. That's a good one.
Definitely.
Lots of great internships in social media.
For sure.
Wow.
Great internships in journalism too.
Still looking at it as a whole.
We have many aspects of communication in our department. So many.
But Laisha, what about going into marketing for film? There's great jobs in marketing in marketing departments at major film companies.
Wow, video production.
In high school? Have any of you all, I don't think high schools really offer communication classes, but have any of you all taken a course in high school that was similar to what you think communication might be like? Or is this like a totally new entity? Because it was totally new to me when I started.
By the way, Laisha, I have the same emphasis as you. I take marketing as my major and my communication as second major, and I'm also a film person, so they are related, they're not different.
Oh,
I'm exactly the same way as you. Wow. Oh my God.
did not know high schools had journalism.
Yeah, same.
That would definitely be cool. Were you doing journalism for like a school paper or just like journalism, like learning how to do journalism, school paper? Whoa,
Ooh.
that's super cool.
And we do have school paper in Santa Clara University, so you can ask them to join. We publish a lot.
It's an award-winning school paper. And there's a journalism practicum you can take in the communication department to get credit for working with the journalism on the paper too.
Whoa.
That is so helpful.
Yeah.
And Freya, you're coming in as a junior, right? Oh, incoming freshman.
A career in technical high school. Wait, what kind of classes do you take at a career in technical high school? Like, were they at all comm related or just applicable to life? I've never heard of
Same.
something like this.
Oh.
Wow. That's very cool.
Jealous. My high school was totally like AP, physics, AP, statistics, AP. Yeah, definitely.
It is nice that there's so many comm classes here because I went to a really small high school and we had pretty limited like listings of courses to take. So it's really nice, even just looking at all of the upper division courses that are available, that you have options, because I remember in high school I was forced into taking a lot of like history courses that weren't super appealing to me. So here we get to select what's good for us. Is anyone interested in joining any clubs at Santa Clara? Or have you thought about it? What kinds of clubs are y'all looking into?
Yeah, film club, both of that.
Freya, my roommate has a little like a radio station hour at KSU because they do little slots for people to come in and play their music. And she let me come in with her the other day during her show. And she was like, they have to read these little ads. I don't think they're actually real ads. And she kept asking me to do them, but I was so shy, even though no one was really listening. But it was super cool in the room. They have like all these records and tapes. And it's so cool. I've never really seen anything like that.
KSU was really fun.
Yeah. I just pasted the list of chartered student organizations for if you were, or no, not chartered, sorry. The other one, registered, and then I'll put the chartered one as well.
What clubs do you think are fun? I mean, all of the clubs are fun. We have like countless clubs. So for example, we have like book clubs and like sports clubs, and some social clubs. And also we do have film clubs for our comm. And yes, just a reminder, we have a book sharing event coming up with Caroline. if you are interested in reading books.
There's one club that pops out to me. Yeah, there's a club that's Her Campus, which is like an online women's magazine. So if you're looking into like the writing aspect of comm, that would be a good one. And there's also a lot of other like clubs, not saying that all clubs you dive into have to be communication related, but there definitely are quite a few that relate to what you might be studying.
And if you're an outdoorsy person, the Into the Wild Club is massive. They do great camping and hiking excursions, not just locally, but even further away. So you have clubs of all academic oriented, pure fun, socially justice, and kind of environmentally oriented, sports oriented, music oriented, ethnically oriented. For those, like the Hawaiian Club puts on an amazing luau every year. So you've got all sorts of different things that you can find what you like.
Yeah. There definitely are so many options, and I believe it's during week 1 of most quarters, all the clubs do like tabling outside of Benson, which is the dining hall, or around Benson on the lawns, and the clubs have tables and you can go up and get information and sign up, which is really good. You could go with your friends because I'm always too shy to go alone, but you could
same. Yeah, I didn't go. So many regrets.
Yeah, but so you can kind of see what clubs are there during the first week, but also I think for a good amount of clubs you could try to join like at points throughout the quarter. It doesn't have to be like day 1 or day 2 of week 1, because I know coming to school can be a little overwhelming. Maybe we could, Caroline, you and I could both answer this question with our own opinion about the quarter system, because I haven't found that it's too overwhelming to adjust to, just because like this Santa Clara was my first college experience, so I've never really had school where I had, like midterms and finals and everything like that all going on. And I found that it's not too bad. You get used to it. Yeah, because I don't know. I think, how I think about it is that when we have midterms, like 5 or 6 weeks into the quarter, it's only covering 5 or 6 weeks of material, whereas at semester schools, it'd be covering like the midterms would cover a lot more. So it's just kind of, I don't know. I think it's not too hard to adjust to.
Yes. So personally, I prefer quarter to semester, because so first we do have like 10 weeks of the schedule for courses, so it's easier to like get into a course and then have a rest. Yeah, it's so quick. I mean, so for me, the first 5 weeks, I don't really feel too much pressure until the first midterm. But some professors, they have the midterm like in week 6 or 7, which is quite late. I know one of my friends, he did his midterm at week 9, which is right. So because at week 10 you basically finish your course, so it's so quick. And also for the quarterly schedule, I feel like you can have more interesting classes than semesters, because 1 year you can only take, I don't know how many classes a year, but quarterly you can take maybe 12 classes per year. And also, secondly, we do have more like holidays. I feel like, we have the spring, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. And also, I personally prefer like if the holidays are like separated into different time, because I do have more opportunities to go out. So if there are 2 options, one is like 3 holidays, each is like 10 days, and one is 15 days, but there's 2, both are like 30 days. I prefer the first option.
Also, just adding on one last thing, that I feel like the quarter system is good because, like Caroline said, the classes go by pretty fast. And that way, if you're in a course that is not super interesting to you or you don't love, it goes by really fast. But on the flip side, if you are in a class that you really love, then you just know that you should try to take a class with that same professor or on a similar topic in the following quarters.
The quarter system does allow us to offer a larger variety of courses than semester courses. So it gives you the opportunity to dabble into different areas that semesters wouldn't allow you to do. I don't know, Laisha, if it really helps you graduate earlier or not. Uh, most comm majors, if you come in early as first years as comm, you can easily graduate a quarter early. That's pretty easy for most comm majors to do. Even the new curriculum that most of you will be coming in on, that will be the case. Some people are able to do it 2 quarters earlier. That means that you've kind of never not taken courses that don't count for something. And very few, but there are some that have done it in 3 years.
Yeah.
But that's like not living a life.
Okay, sorry, Caroline. I was just gonna quickly jump in and add a little bit more to that. So with the quarter system, like if you're thinking about like workload or like course load, I'm assuming as of now, like y'all are just all gonna be one major. I know some of y'all express interest in double majoring. If you're double majoring, you have to talk to an advisor, and depending on like what you're double majoring in, you might need to take more classes in a quarter. So in a quarter, you only need to take, I believe it's 3 classes, which is like 12 units to be like a full-time student, but most people take 4 classes a quarter. But if you're a double major, like for me personally, since my business major is kind of heavy, I have to take like 25 units a quarter, which is an insane amount.
Wait,
No,
25?
it's not like a good thing. Like I don't recommend that at all. It's like
Oh my God.
Waylon said, you will not have a life. So making sure you're talking to an advisor early if you're deciding to like double major is very, very important, very critical, especially if you're trying to have some like wiggle room. But you could graduate early potentially, depending on like how you format your classes and what you're trying to do.
Yeah, I went through with my advisor last quarter just to like pace out the classes, and I had I think 5 or 6 extra spaces, so I could graduate a quarter early, or it leaves me space to take like fun random classes, or just take less than 4 courses a quarter, which is nice to have that room.
And you should all bend towards Caroline, not Olivia. Schedule on that. Because the other thing, you don't need to double major. Pick up a second major or a minor if you just absolutely adore the subject and you really want to study it. And then honestly, and Olivia can do this still, if she decides she doesn't want to continue with one of the majors, she can drop it at the last minute, and that's okay. You only need 1 major to graduate. And the other thing I would say is that leaving space open will also potentially leave open time for you to do internships and get involved with multiple internships to help decide which area of industry that you want to go into when you graduate. And it's not bad, especially in your junior and senior years, to be able to have that freedom, so that if you want to pick up a more intense internship that's going to require 20 to 30 hours a week, you can do that.
Yes, to answer Freya's question, 4 is not the maximum class you can take, but for your first quarter, I guess no, because with the policy said if you're gonna take more than 19 units, you need to have a common GPA of 3.3 to overload, or to be an honor student, and you can then be allowed to register up to 25 units. But 12 is the minimum units you have to take to make sure you are in the quarter. And some general is it, but I dare to take 3 classes. And no, because I know lots of my friends, they take all of their 4 classes on Tuesday and Thursdays because they want their Monday, Wednesday, Friday to be off, because they somehow, as commuter students, it's not really convenient for them. So yes, and I don't think 1 hour and 40 minutes are too long to take, because I guess they are kind of same, because I know some professors will end earlier. So I think it's a good idea to take 3 classes on Tuesdays and Thursdays. But if you want to separate into like 5 days as your like living campus, that is also a good idea. Yeah.
Don't overload especially your first quarter.
Mhm.
Just get your feet wet.
I generally take 3 classes Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then 2 Tuesday, Thursday, but that's just because I have a hard time sitting in the 1 hour and 40-minute classes. I like to get up and stretch my legs in between classes or run back to my room and have a snack. But I think it's totally up to each individual because I have plenty of friends that are taking 3 Tuesday, Thursday classes.
And you'd also find it different because if you take a film production or class, those are Tuesdays, Thursdays, but a lot of the times it's workshop. So you're not sitting at a desk, you're up in the studio working with the gear and things like that. So there's certain classes that'll be different.
Yeah. Does anyone have more questions? And I enjoy hearing them. And I feel like when you're asking a question, someone else probably has it too. So it's always good to ask.
Yes.
I
You go.
was just gonna say, I think the latest classes go is till around 9. I'm gonna
Yeah.
look it up and double check, but
Yeah, you're right, Caroline.
okay.
And we don't have a ton in comm. We'll have 1, maybe 2, and we don't have them that run that long. Usually our classes will end at 7:20, the latest ones. We have a couple classes that will start like at 5:40 to 7:20, and those would be twice a week. So sometimes Monday, Wednesday, sometimes Tuesday, Thursday. And don't be afraid of 8 a.m. classes. You're gonna have to be up at that time when you graduate and go to work.
Yeah. For some reasons, 8 a.m. always feel really hard to me. I dropped my only 8 a.m. that I ever signed up for, but I've been getting up at like 7 in the morning during the summer. So I think I could do it during
Well,
this.
Caroline, didn't you do it from preschool through 12th grade?
Yeah, I
Okay,
think
so
I think my
same.
Zoom year kind of set things off because I'm from Chicago, so I was at home. So my courses
Okay.
were all like running from like I started the school day at like 12 or 2. So it was
Very nice.
a little bit different. Yeah.
And if those of you that are worried about Zoom classes and stuff like that, the university is committed to teaching in person. And the last 2 quarters, we figured it out. So I do not expect us going into Zoom. You may have certain classes that will be offered on Zoom, a very small percentage, like 5%, if that's what you're looking for. So it'll be hard to find some, but we are committed to be an in-person teaching environment.
Are you all excited to come to school? Hopefully you are.
Loaded question.
Yes.
Okay, good. Good.
Where are people coming from? You can just type it in the chat if you want.
Is anyone like driving distance from school? Like you're gonna
Bay
drive
Area,
when you move in? That's super cool to me.
San Jose,
Ooh, Portland.
Oregonian.
Whoa.
Okay, Denver went. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, Denver's further than Portland.
Freya,
Marjorie, we're in LA. Oh, La Cañada. Okay. Okay, Texas.
Interesting.
Getting too many Texans taking over. Have you noticed that, Olivia? There's more and more Texans coming to Santa Clara.
Yep, as it should be. We need more Texans in Santa Clara.
My sister is the principal of a girls' high school in Houston.
Oh, really?
Yeah. She's been there like for 20, 25 years.
Nice.
Did you know Aldo Billingsley in the theater department? He's a big Dallas Texan.
I have not like stepped foot anywhere near the theater department, so I don't know anyone.
He's a good guy. He's a good guy, but he's born and raised in Dallas.
Oh, nice.
He's
Dallas
always walking around with the Dallas, Texas. I mean, with a Dallas Cowboys
Oh,
hat or
gosh.
shirt and taking all sorts of crap.
Oh gosh.
Do you have any other questions? Are you gonna drive, Freya, or are you gonna take a plane?
No.
I don't think, I know like, I think you're referring to clubs, but I know club sports have
Oh,
space limits if you're looking at teams, but I don't think many of the like social or academic clubs have caps on them. That would be mean if they did.
if you mean like the professional clubs for sports, maybe somehow, but if you are like into sports clubs, they don't, because I'm in the swimming club and I'm sure they don't have a limit. Yes, I guess so. Many of my friends, they have Tuesday and Thursday class, and they like at their home Wednesday, Monday, Friday.
And folks, I have to go make dinner. I've posted my email in the chat, and anybody that has questions directly, go ahead and send me an email. And I welcome to Santa Clara and Calm. You'll have a good time. We'll work you a little bit hard, but you'll have a good time. I promise you. You'll have much better time than the people studying finance and accounting and things like that. We enjoy ourselves a little bit more in Calm. So look forward to come meet me when you're in campus. I'm on the first floor of Vari in the TV film area. Take care, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.